Sri Matre Namaha. I wanted to share with you a real miracle which happened late in 1979 in Titupati Devasthanam on the Tirumala hills. The reason for this is, in Kali Yuga, it is very hard to experience the grace of God. We all have a fixed notion that God may come in a form and bless us like in movies, and it may happen, it may not happen, and it may come in any form. Unfortunately, we have again fixed form for God. So how a God's grace comes? It really happened on the night of 7th of November 1979, exactly 36 years back. The time was after midnight. Everybody, right from the street urchin to the priest and including the Lord, were sleeping. In those days, there was not many of the people, about 25,000 people were visiting the temple. So, fortunately for God, He has enough time for sleeping, rest. So they used to close the temple after the Ekanta Seva, maybe around 12 o'clock, and then only 4 o'clock or so, the Suprabhatam was being done. So, suddenly, the temple bells, the big bronze bells in the Bangaru Vakili inside the temple, just before the main icon, they started to ring with such a great sound, gang, 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 like that. The waves of the sound made the whole Tirumala tremble. And everybody woke up, right from the police people, police personnel, TTD employees, and the normal people. They rushed to the main door. And suddenly, after a few minutes, they stopped. Nobody knows the reason. Because normally, after the Ekanta Seva, they search every nook and corner and then they lock the temple. So nobody can be inside. So after thinking and discussing for a while, they finally came to a conclusion. Maybe some pilgrim by mistake was caught inside the temple and they closed the door without checking properly. So probably the pilgrim wanted to catch the attention of the outsiders. So he rang the bell. So after the Suprabhatam, at the time of Suprabhatam, when we open the door, we can see that. That's what they decided. But then, why the temple bell rang? We need to go behind 7 days or more than that. At that time, there was a big scarcity of water, no rain at all for the whole year. And they put sanctions on the TTD employees because their quarters were there. About 60,000 people were there in Tirumala, apart from the 25,000 regular visitors. And beyond the sanctions, they cannot go further. The water in the Gogarbham Dam was almost empty. So the TTD chairman, EO, at that time was Sri P.V.R.K. Prasad, and he convened a meeting of all the engineers and discussed what need to be done. They said the water will not last more than 1 week. And they wanted to impose further sanctions on the employees' usage, which the EO refused because there can be no further restrictions on the usage of water. And again, they cannot restrict the pilgrims coming to the temple because that's against TTD rules. So finally, everybody, the engineers told, we have to do something, otherwise the temple has to be closed indefinitely, which will leave a bad mark on P.V.R.K. Prasad Garu in the history of TTD. So, he decided to solve it on his own. He believes that Vedas, Dharma Shastras, they have definite solution for a serious problem of this kind. But there should be some person who can guide him properly. He discussed with the people and finally decided he should approach the great Vedic scholar who is known as Saraswati Avataram, Sri Uppuluri Ganapati Shastri, who was 82 at that time, 82 years old, and he went to him in Hyderabad and met him. When he explained the water scarcity problem in Tirumala, Sri Ganapati Shastri Garu smiled and said the golden words. The problem comes because the solution is there. In fact, for mankind, for every problem, there is a solution. We need to believe in God and focus and search for the solution. The Vedas, Dharmas, Shastras, everything they provided solution. In fact, in those days, people used to follow these solutions and solve many of their problems. But in Kali Yuga, who will believe that if we do Varana Japam, what rains will come? And who is competent to do a Varana Japam so sincerely, so focused? Sri Ganapati Shastri Garu replied. He is a scholar. He spent almost like 40 plus years to learn Vedas, not only Veda Upangas like Siksha, Vyakaranam, Mimamsa, Tarka, all these things. He is the authority of Vedas. So P.V.R.K. Garu was noting all the details. Then Shastri Garu told, if you agree, I can send the Ritviks and we can do the Japam for 3 days. It will rain. So P.V.R.K. Garu was very happy. He went to his office in Tirumala and he decided after discussing with the scholars, November 1st was a Muhurtam for starting the Varana Japam. Unfortunately, for no reason, the Ritviks could not come, and because of old age, Sri Ganapati Shastri Garu also could not come. So the problem came back to square A. And Sri P.V.R.K. Prasad Garu could not decide what to do. Then he convened an emergency meeting of all his staff. He said, we need to do this Varana Japam on our own. Let us call all the Pandits and then do the Varana Japam. And he fixed the Muhurtam as 8th of November. But he said, he turns towards Lord Balaji, he said, Hey Bhagavan, I've been a sincere officer serving you and your devotees. I never spared my efforts to make this Tirumala neat and tidy, full of dharmic living. Why this trouble for me? I wanted to do the Varana Japam starting from 8th. I need your approval. I don't know how you give, but your approval needs to be there for me to start. And then it happened on the 7th of midnight. The temple bell rang on its own. What more you can say that Balaji has approved P.V.R.K. Prasad Garu's Sankalpa. He was full of joy. Tears came to his eyes. Balaji, you accepted my proposal. Let us start. They started the Varana Japam on 8th, and after 3 days, the rain has to come, but not even a single drop of water. Again, God wants to test. So after the Japam, all the Ritviks and the employees with the depressed faces, saddened faces, the tears in their eyes, they are bringing all the Utsav Vigrahas back to the temple. Within 100 years, then it happened. The sky, as if it opened up, started to pour so heavily that the people could not even cover the 100 yards. They got drenched in ecstasy. Water was overflowing. And soon, in the night, the engineers came, said, Gogarbham reservoir is overflowing with water. We are safe. Immediately, P.V.R.K. Prasad Garu stood up from his chair, turned towards the temple direction. Tears in his eyes. Balaji, what more can be an example of your grace? You saved us. You saved Tirumala. Follow the Dharma. Follow the Vedic rituals. Have belief in God. any problem can be solved. Sri P.B.R.K. Prasad Garu is still in Hyderabad leading a saintly life. And Uplur Ganaprasad Garu left his mortal body. But why I am saying this is, in this Kali Yuga also God will respond. Only thing what we need is Shraddha, dedication and belief, Nammakam. When you have that, God is responding in all the direction, in all the manners, like sound, in form, in thought, and in action. Sri Matre Namaha.